we're going to talk about this. Well, boys, as stated, we're now switching to a little podcasty thing. I want to talk to my good friend Dave. I only have 1 hour of stream left because I promised Lisa to make food today. I have to make mashed potatoes today, which I never did before. I have no idea how to do mashed potatoes. It's like milk and shit. I don't know, man. Fuck. Do you know how to make mashed potatoes, Dave?
Yeah, we make it quite often, yeah. I prefer roast potatoes, but I don't know, I guess you just you boil them, and then you mix in your butter, then you mash them, and then you can add some extra flavorings if you want, mix it all together, and boom, bing, bada, boom. There you go. Mashed potato.
I'm always Googling recipes.
Yeah, I'll upload this. This will be episode 4. The last episode we recorded was in September last year. Didn't really feel that long ago, did it?
It's a long time, man. That's true. I feel like you're my Brendan Shroud to my Joe Rogan. Do you understand what I mean with that? You probably don't.
I know who Joe Rogan is, but I don't know who Shroud.
Joe Rogan has like a friend that always comes on his podcast. He's like, because they're friends. Okay. They always talk.
I've watched a few, but I've never actually seen him. Is he like just a voice in the background? Is he the one that Googles stuff?
No, not that guy. No, he's no. That's the other guy. That's Jamie. That doesn't really work.
I want to get this out of the way, okay? So first of all, like people, I don't know why. Maybe this is in my head. I don't know, or maybe I've seen a comment. 1 comment out of a billion. I don't know. But like, people got this idea that I want to do this because I'm like gaining something from having podcasts with you. The truth behind it is, the podcast I put on Spotify, I make £0 from. I edit it together. I edit it down, more condensed, remove out all the shit and all the ums and ers and all the silences. And the truth behind it is I put like hours of work into this. And do you know what I get paid from it, Tommy? Nothing. I do it out of the goodness of my heart. It's a passion project. And that is my New Year's resolution for 2021. More passion projects. Stuff that doesn't make me money, but stuff that I just feel like titivates my creativity.
Well, I also want to say we also don't make any money because the second channel isn't monetized yet. And I'm doing this because I see you as a friend and I like talking to you.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Is there anything in 2021 that excites you? Anything that you're going to do differently?
I have resolutions. Like I said with Marconi, I want to do more sports, which is hard, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting stronger, but very slowly. And I always say this for years, but I want to be more professional as a businessman and streamer. But I always, in the end, never do it anyway. I always sabotage myself. Like, I sit here and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be so professional. I'm going to have so many projects. Yeah. And then I just get World of Warcraft addicted,
That, funnily enough, moves me on to my next topic. The WoW addiction. Let's just get it out the way. Everyone wants to know about it. I want to know about it. I've been on Discord late at night, last 2 nights in a row, and I've seen your name in my DMs. And do you want to know what it says underneath your name, Tommy? Do you know what it says? Playing World of Warcraft. That's right.
Well, Dave, here's news. I just uninstalled World of Warcraft today.
Right.
Yeah.
Give me the build up to it. What was going off in your mind at the time?
That's a good question. That slowly came up with me. I have a new talent that I didn't have for many years. It came with the stream and it started with Magic the Gathering. It's that I now finally have the brain power or whatever it is to understand when games are bad for me. Back in the day when I was young, I was playing Dota 2 all day, even though it was bad for me. I didn't go to university. It was just toxic. I didn't get anywhere. Now I finally kind of get it. And I like World of Warcraft. It's a great game. I like it. But I didn't get anywhere. And yesterday there was just this moment, like it slowly built itself up. I was like, man, I'm getting nowhere here, right? I'm not getting anywhere. And last night, Lisa went to bed very early, and I was just sitting here for 5 hours. And I'm always looking for groups. In World of Warcraft, you have to look for groups. Mm-hmm. And I never find any groups. It takes forever. And I'm just sitting here like, man, do you really want to spend your time like this? And then I found a group finally, and the leader of the group, it's 10, so 10 people are a group. The leader was a German. And that guy, dude, with all due respect, man, that guy was a complete nut job. That guy was crazy. He acted like he knows everything. He was screaming at people. He was the weirdest dude. His jokes were weird. He was always making jokes about, I fuck bitches every day. And I'm just sitting here like, dude, do I want to chill with these people, right? And then I literally sat here in the dark for 3 hours, contemplating if I should delete it, man. And I still did a faction change for 20 euros, meaning I went from Alliance to Horde. And then I looked for groups at the Horde, and there was groups, but they all declined me. And then I just realized, like back in the day with Magic Chat, that I was like, dude, this is not good for you. This is bad for the stream. This is bad for my health. I don't work out in the morning. I don't do my business shit. The stream dies. Even me and Lisa have a bunch of issues because of World of Warcraft. And I was like, it's not worth it. Still, I like the game. It's just not fitting to me anymore. And it's crazy how today's stream is so successful one day after I delete WoW. Yeah.
Do you know it's funny? Because Blizzard, in a weird kind of way, they've made the game that just touches every kind of addictive urge in your body, haven't they? Like everything that the game does is in a way that kind of drips you that just little bit of dopamine and wants you to come back. And then you don't want to be away from it because it like constantly is giving you that good feeling. So you just want to be on it permanently.
Yes, it's also a lot about, I think MMOs have that, and everybody who ever was addicted to MMO knows this. When you don't play, you fall behind. And if you're competitive, you don't want that. Like if when I started WoW some months ago, I said, oh, I only play some hours a day, a bit before the stream and at night. But then I quickly realized if I don't play fucking 12 hours a day, I'm going to be behind. I'm going to get beaten by others. And I can't accept that. I can't do that. And then the spiral happens, of getting stuck.
I think one of the reasons it does that is because if you're not keeping up with your peers, you kind of penalize, aren't you? So you're always thinking, I want to stay ahead. I want to be the strongest I can possibly be. I want to get the best rewards. And at the end of the day, it's a never-ending battle because you never really do keep up. And then you never really have a big lead. And you know what the big kicker for me is? I played WoW Classic when it was originally came out. Was it 20 years ago, 15 years ago? I don't fucking
17
know.
years, man.
17. Oh my God. And one thing that got me, that was the moment that really made me realize that I just can't play this game, is that I never felt like I was getting lots of fun from it. It was always just a mild enjoyment all the way through. I was just satisfying that addiction. And then there was the point when I realized, hang on a second, I'm just having a mild level of fun with this. Not too much. And I'm paying for the experience. I'm paying for me to give a mild enjoyment. And like when I could be having lots of fun with something else. And I think at that point I just like, boom, subscription gone, uninstall, get the hell out.
I know what you mean. Yeah. What I always hated about my character is that I have this thing, I want to be one of the best. I want to keep up. It's a good feeling. It leads to good stuff. But this feeling also makes you getting stuck, for example, in World of Warcraft, right? I can't just play a game like WoW and be a casual. I'm just going to hang out a bit. I can't do that, man. And then I get stuck because of that feeling. I hate that, man. I can slowly turn it off now as I get older. But yeah.
Yeah, if I can relate to that, I feel like I can never play a game to just a mediocre level, an average level. I can't just be a normie. And it's the same when I like watch some YouTubers who like play a different game every single day and upload a different video of a different game every single day. I just know how they do it because I get the most enjoyment out of game when I feel like I'm min-maxing it, I'm starting to master it. And I never would reach that peak if I was constantly jumping between games.
Yeah, that's true. I sometimes wonder, I don't know so much about YouTube, but some YouTubers, let's say, for example, Spiffing Brit, I don't know how this works, but as you said, he always has different videos, right? Always different topics. And I always feel like people must be shipping this to him. He must get his ideas somewhere, Discord or something. Like, do these people always come up with these ideas themselves? If yes, that's really good, man.
Okay, I'm going to give you a truth bomb about Spiffing Brit and RT Gaming. These guys are unbelievably dedicated. And I mean it to the stage where on Spiffing Brit's New Year's stream, I didn't watch the whole thing, it was 3 hours long, but the guy said that he only took 5 days off for the whole of 2020. Now, that might have been an exaggeration, and it probably was, but the truth is, he was willing to brag about being a workaholic, which from my perspective, I feel like it's not really something I'd want to be proud of, but for him, it was, and that just shows the level of dedication. This guy is waking up, he's eating computer games, he's sleeping computer games, there's every moment of every single day is computer games. The truth behind it is, there's not a lot of life left over, and that's the only reason why they're able to pump out a video every 2 or 3 days that's completely different.
Well, it always depends on the person in the end, I guess. If they're happy with that, I get it.
And I think he is. I think the motivation for Spiff from when I used to speak to him daily is that the growth, the bigger numbers. That was always like the biggest passion for you. It's a double-edged sword because 1 minute if you're not achieving those numbers, I imagine it's depressing. But when you are achieving them, oh my God, the euphoria, you know what I mean? Like it's every day's Christmas,
Yeah. To me, I don't know if you have the same. It's sometimes hard to find the middle there. You want your baby, which is your brand, to grow, but sometimes I, for example, sabotage it. Like World of Warcraft, right? I knew World of Warcraft would be bad for the stream, but I wanted to do it. It was my baby. And it's always, I'm like very bipolar there. Like I wake up one day, I'm like, oh, today you stop WoW and you build your stream up. Come on. And the next day I wake up, today I play WoW because I'm the boss here. And I'm always in between,
I'm always like ending certain days with this feeling of, did I work enough that day? And I'm constantly battling in my mind because I don't really have like a set thing or a set amount of hours I need to work to say that was a good day. But then some days I feel the satisfaction that I worked enough, and some days I just feel like I didn't work enough and maybe I could have pushed myself a little bit harder. But I'll tell you what, comparing yourself to some of those YouTubers that are living, sleeping, breathing computer games, it's just not healthy. It really isn't.
It always depends if they're happy with this in their own little world. I often think about this. In a different universe, I always do this thing, right? You have two universes. One is right now, and one is where I never got a girlfriend for years ago. I just kept fucking never settling down with a girl, and I obviously would have streamed much more there. Would this different universe Tommy be happy? How would he feel? He will have much bigger channel, more money. I think he will also have a better body, and I always wonder how that guy would feel right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I think I have thought about that, and I am one of those people that could never really be single for a long period. I always I don't know, you probably can relate to this actually, when you're constantly playing the game and you were chatting to girls on the side, I feel like, one, it was irritating because it was a distraction. You really never know where you were because you're always playing the chase game. But then simultaneously, it's like, well, you had more free time for yourself and you could dedicate it to your trade, but you were constantly playing this tug of war between the two. I think in the situation we're in right now, me and you kind of settled in a long-term relationship, I think we get more work done now than we ever have. Of course, there's distractions, which happens in our everyday life, but the truth is, are you able to turn off that part of your brain that wants you to pursue girls? I couldn't have done it.
No, I would have kept doing it in the second universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But how much of time would that absorb?
Yeah, that's true. And how much stress? It will have meant a lot of stress. The cool thing about these long-term relationships, I think you will agree, is that it's chill, right? You can trust each other. You love each other. There's no bullshit anymore. No fucking. And that's really, I like that. That's very soothing.
I don't know where I read this, but it says something like men that are married in long-term relationships were lived 5 to 10 years longer than guys that were single. So I suppose, is that an element of it? Is that because I have a lot of feelings at the time where when you're in that situation with a girl and it's like you're dating them, but you don't know if you're with them or you're not with them, and you got that anxiety of feeling, you know what I mean? You want to pursue them, you want to go all in, but then all the truth is you don't want to come across too desperate. And I'll admit those moments were kind of I don't know, they were kind of stressful, and I imagine that's probably what the average guy is experiencing when they're not in the relationship, It's
Yeah. Again, it always comes down to if you're happy with if someone out there just fucks a different girl every week and likes it and is happy, then so be it. I just always felt, I think a wise man has a talent, and that talent is he can look into the future. And I always felt like if I would have chosen the second way, I'm not gonna get a relationship, I'm gonna stream 16 hours a day, make a lot of money, make big numbers, have a lot of women. I think that guy would one day wake up and be like, man, fuck, I missed out. I'm 40. I have no children. I never built my own family. And that's why I'm so happy with my current life, because I think that I will always wake up happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I understand where I am now. I wouldn't have it any other way. And it's kind of hard to see it any other way, to be honest. Next topic. We talked a lot in the last podcast about CK3. Now, I don't want to bang on about CK3, but the only reason I bring it up is I see that you dipped back into it just very quickly. You put your toe in the water and then you quickly ran away, Yeah, well, why? Yeah, why? I thought you'd made your mind up with that game. I thought it wasn't your thing.
I always had the idea of checking out the rule designer for England campaign. I was a bit wrong there. I thought there's an achievement where you have to unite Great Britain, but that was CK2. I did that wrong. I always had that in my mind.
Just to interrupt you, there is actually one. You've got to start out as
the Black Eagle with the Vikings.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you've got to keep everything Norse and
I always thought I could just make a little Oxford count and do that real quick. And I deleted WoW today, and I want to bring back the channel. And the greatest warm-up game, the greatest game to stream in the noon for me is always Paradox games. People love that stuff. That's why I did it. But yeah, as you saw, I got very quickly, I felt weird, I could talk about this for hours. Why do you make a rule designer and you don't let the player make their own banner? What? What's going on there?
Yeah, I agree. I actually do agree with you there. I think the idea of putting your own YouTube logo on top of the banner, that'd be so cool, wouldn't it? I don't know why they didn't have that.
Yeah, whatever you want, right? It can't be that hard to program that.
I don't understand too that when you want to select your crest and as well as your country icon, why does it randomize? Why can't I just pick from a big list? Why does it? It's just such a strange choice that as well. There's definitely areas that your ruler design is going to get expanded on. There are, some videos coming up. Spoiler time. There's some spicy exploits with that ruler designer.
The feedback and the exploits.
I love them. I'll just give you a little taster. You don't have to create rulers just for you. You can create rulers for everyone and then start as a specific ruler. So you can basically surround yourself with complete idiots. Literally the stupid
You
trait.
could make a clone army.
You could, if you wanted to. Yeah, basically, you could cover the entire world in one character by copying the DNA ID. Just it's all you across the world. That would actually make a really fun video. Now I think about it.
Do you know much about the CK2 Game of Thrones mod?
I know you praise it. I know you adore it. I know you loved it. I know you played it and it crashed a lot, and then you never went back to it. That's all I know. That's the law.
I pray that you watch my stream soon when I play that game, because then you will truly understand why I don't like CK3 too much and what is possible. That happens so often in Paradox games. You have modders, people making mods, and you play these mods in HOI4, EU4, CK2, CK3, and these mods are so much more detailed. There's so much more going on, and it makes you wonder, why couldn't we do this in vanilla? Are you with me there? You know what I mean?
No, I see what you mean. Listen, okay. I agree. CK3 has a massive hole of content in comparison to CK2. I don't deny that. I just, I guess I enjoy CK3 as it is, I suppose. The only reason I bring this up too is that, did anyone hear that I played CK3 for 3 stream sessions back to back, a total of 20 hours worth of stream time doing the Mother of Us All achievement?
What is this achievement?
You start out as a specific African miner.
I heard of that, yeah. And then you have to unite Africa?
You have to unite entirety of Africa, and you have to convert the entirety of it to an African religion. Yeah. So no Muslims, no Christians. Kick them all off the continent.
So that means you invested a lot of time in that game, right?
Oh my goodness, that is the longest session of CK3 I've ever done, ever. And it came so close to the end date too, I could have missed out on it. Because what happens is you conquer all of Africa, you unite it, but then you keep getting heretics that keep springing up, and you have to constantly keep converting the vassals on top, converting with your own realm priests. Oh my god, it is a massive achievement, and it is the hardest achievement at the moment, the rarest one in CK3.
As you are investing so much time into this campaign, did you ever feel the hollowness that I always talk about? That nothing going on is? Did you feel that?
I think I know what you're saying, and I agree with some of the repetition of the events, because one of the problems I have is I think the learning path is the best path, so I keep going on to it to get hold of the body over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's really strong.
Yeah, it is really strong. And because of that, there's events tied into that specific career path, and I kept seeing the same. There's an event where one of your vassals gets injured and is bleeding out, and you've got the option to jump in to bandage them because you've got good learning skill, and you get a hook on them. It's cool and everything, but I saw that event, I kid you not, probably like 30 times in that one whole session. So there's definitely a massive gaping hole for events. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. I think I'd come into it less for the role play and less of feeling engaged with the characters, and I'd come in more with, I want to grind the game and min-max it as much as possible. I think we both have different mentalities.
And I always felt like if that's what you want from a game, then you're just an EU4 player, right? That's EU4.
True. Yeah, true. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah.
Well, I will check out CK3 in 2 years, and then maybe. Dave, did you play or test Empire of Sin, the latest Paradox game?
I did play a little bit.
I want your opinion on it.
It was very good. I did enjoy it. It was XCOM, and I've already got gripes with XCOM as it is. I played the first one a lot, really enjoyed it. The story sucked me in. But I just don't like turn-based combat. I don't find it fun.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the UI, the optimization of the game, the graphics, the visuals, the voiceovers were all on point. They were really sharp. But there was nothing about the game that really sucked me in. I kind of wanted some story, but there really wasn't much story because the most part you select your own character, so I suppose they've got to make it nice, broad, sandboxy style. And then I played it for 2 or 3 hours, and I was like, hey, this just isn't me. This isn't for me, this. At least with XCOM, as you progress through the game, you're unlocking new technologies. But, I mean, you're set in the 1950s, 1960s? So it's like, well, I'm not going to have a breakthrough of technology at this point, is there? So there's what is there to come that I need to grind the game to get later on? There wasn't anything.
I like to shit on Paradox, but I think it's just fact. Lately, everything just seems so empty. Everything seems empty lately. Maybe it's the bias because the old games had years of DLCs and add-ons, but I think you can't apply that standard anymore. It's 2021, man. You want to raise your stock. You want to get on the big league, man. Then you I don't understand that stuff.
No, I agree. The game had issues. It didn't engage me. I think that's the number one thing, is that you can have all these fancy visuals and optimization and cool events and whatnot and graphics, but the truth is, if the game does not drag you in and engage you, then what's the point? The people in the chat keep spamming paid by Paradox. They gave me the game for free, but I never wanted it make a video and they didn't pay me a single penny.
They don't give me anything for free. You know what I missed last year and probably this year was a Paradox Con, man. Seeing everyone. I really missed that. You miss it too? Would you have gone last year if you could? Yeah,
I'm
you
so
will.
torn, because I enjoy the conventions and everything. I don't know, man.
What?
You were so... Listen, one thing I would say about... Was it 2018, the last PDX-Con? It was, wasn't it?
I think so.
2018?
19.
19, it was 19, yeah. You're a really good people person. You feel like you're one of those guys that can basically go up to anyone, have a conversation with anyone, and you're totally relaxed and totally cool, and I just totally calm. I'm not that kind of person, I don't really feel like I'm a people person as such. So when people approach me, even if they recognize me for the right reason, because it's like, oh, it's feedback gaming, but I still don't feel this like... I feel really uncomfortable,
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
Yeah, you're built for it, man. I don't know. I suppose that's why I have this feeling of like when I'm there and I'm having fun, I'm enjoying it. But when the feeling of approaching it and coming up to it, I'm like, oh, do I really want to put myself through this? Do I feel it? No.
I always felt like in my life, even though that sounds very like sucking my own dick, I have this trait. If I was a CK character, I always want other people to feel good, even though I don't care about them. You know what I mean? Like strangers, I want them to feel. I don't want a weird tension and a weird vibe. So I always try to act in a way that everybody feels good. But that's dangerous, because then everybody thinks that you want to be their friend and stuff like that. Like I remember in the supermarket, sitting there for 7 years. People always will tell you their stories, and I would always be like, "Yeah, tell me more, man." But then they would come every day and tell you their fucking stories.
Oh, we're the complete opposite. When I used to work in the call centers, I was completely unapproachable. Oh my goodness, people would not come up to me. They were the kind of guy that'd be like, "Oh, we don't want to invite him to the Christmas party because he'll definitely say no." And they were right. I would definitely say no. I'm just not into that kind of stuff,
I get that, yeah. Well, I'm becoming also more like that. I mean, maybe because of Corona, but I don't really see other people anymore, and I'm totally okay with that. But once in a while, I would love to go to a restaurant with you and Marconi. I miss you guys.
I don't think we went wrong at the time. I had fun at the moment. I just feel like there wasn't really an opportunity for like something more intimate between us, was there? It was like there was all fans everywhere, so it was like lots of distractions. It would have kind of be cute to do something a little bit more intimate.
Next time we have to like do a plan where we make our own little trip for 3 days with a vlog or some shit.
Yeah, that would actually be fun, actually. And a few streams on the way, too, to make it worth the while. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Speaking of looking good, I got a really nice fancy-ass webcam yesterday. Did you watch my stream yesterday?
Oh, no. On Twitch or YouTube?
Twitch.
Feedback Gaming Twitch. What camera is that?
It is Ava Media 930. Oh, my goodness. Let me just make sure that's right by Googling it. Now, okay, yeah, it's called the Ava Media Live Streamer Cam 530. It was like $250. I couldn't get it in the UK. I had to import it from America.
Dude, there's a clip of you from 5 years ago.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Dude, you actually don't look different that much.
I mean, it means to go back and like erase some things from the past.
Man, you have no problems with balding, right? Okay, here we go. New webcam. Hey, that looks good, yeah. Sorry, wait.
We'll get this. I think for the most part, I've done this really well on a budget. That's the best consumer webcam you can get before you go up to your level. And also I'm using that NVIDIA broadcasting that blurs the background. And I'm also using a crappy desk light to project the light. It's not perfect, but
looks
my
good,
God,
man.
it looks like...
The Forsen cam? What? Looks good. Forsen is the best webcam. That looks good, Dave.
Do you have any light in front of your face? You don't, do you?
No, I don't use any lighting. That's people always tell me that's my biggest mistake. But
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Because we can tell almost like what's on your desktop with like the light that goes on your face, because you can say it projects the monitor light. Yeah.
Bro, I'm getting old. I shaved my beard down here today, and you can like this looks so weird. Like my skin is getting old, man.
How's the hair on top?
The front is okay, but yeah, this bald spot is growing. I think in the next years I'm getting a hair transplant. I think I want to do that.
Really? Are you going to go for some topical method instead of like going for the surgery straight away?
I researched hair transplants a lot, and they seem just really, really good, man. They seem to really be a good thing.
There was a company that approached me as an advert, and it was like a hair replacement. Not hair replacement. It was a hair cream, whatever.
Yeah, we had that too, I think. Yeah.
Oh, did you? I never actually went ahead with it because I felt like that didn't really match my content. Like, how do I just randomly in a CK2?
I was very offended. They're sending me like a balding cream sponsorship, man. What the fuck? What do you mean?
Keeps, yes, it's Keeps, yes. Does it actually work? I'm really curious. I was fascinated by it. I felt a bit rude asking them, does it actually work, guys? Are you having people on here? Is this just some cream?
Yeah, up front, everything is still okay, man. But yeah, I'm okay with this balding shit. You can't, like, when people make jokes, it's really whatever.
A hair transplant isn't like, it's not an easy procedure. Have you actually seen them have it done? Have you seen it?
Yes, I know a lot about that stuff. I even know people that had it, and it is kind of easy. It's just long and expensive. In the end, they take, your I don't know how to call this in English. The side stuff here.
Yeah.
You have very strong hair there, and they take it out, depends how many, 1,000, 2,000, and each one is more money, and then they just put it back in, and then it takes like 6 months to 1 year, so the hair understands, and then you look a bit better. Lots of videos on YouTube about that.
Have you looked into the cost?
Depends on how much hair they will do. It's 5 to 10,000. I think I will be like 7,000 in a way.
It's a really drastic procedure too, because they have to like cut out a section of the skin on the back of your head, don't they, and like put it together.
But it's like really normal. It just grows back. It's really not that bad. You have to shave your head once though. I'm gonna be skinhead for a sec, but I do that later. Like that's gonna some years, man. I still feel okay.
Doesn't surgery scare you?
Funny that you ask, because 2 days ago I swallowed my crown, like here, the tooth.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit hypochondriac. Like I'm a really health guy. And this morning I'm brushing my teeth and I have like this little pain, like in a weird area. And I'm Googling where is the appendix. And right where the appendix is, I had some pain there. And then I was like, oh my God, I want to get surgery. Fuck that. So, it's not that I'm scared about surgery, it's just the stress. I'm always a guy, I just don't want stress. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to get fucking lose consciousness. I don't want to sit in a room for 2 hours. That's always my issue. You can do it. You can cut me open. I don't care. It's just the stress of it, the losing time that annoys me always.
Yeah, no, you're right, actually. You think it's just like the doctor's appointment, the surgery day, but then you've got the recovery days afterwards as well. And you're never really yourself in the recovery day. Sometimes it could take a week, 2 weeks to get back to normal. So it's...
I don't want to check my poop. If the tooth is gone, it's gone. I don't care. I'm not gonna touch my poop. Yesterday, man.
Fishing out your crown
Yesterday,
from your poo.
I was pooping. It was like little goat poop, little balls. And Lisa says, you have to check your poop. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to. So I take the toilet brush. You know the toilet brush? Toilet brush, right? That's the name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the toilet brush has the brush and then the long thing. So I take the long thing and I look into my poop if I see a tooth. And I take it out and it's full of poop. And then I'm standing there cleaning this fucking flush with my own poop. And I hate that. I'm very arrogant and vain there. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna clean poop. Fuck the tooth, dude. And if I die, I fucking die. So be it. Fuck that. I'm not fucking with poop, dude. When I have a kid one day and he poops all the time, oh, fuck that shit.
I could just have a mental image of you fishing through your poo in the sink.
Like it looked so hard, right? The balls, they looked like stable, but once I touched them, they just became liquid and it was everywhere. Super annoying.
You got a new PC?
Yes, I did.
Do you know the specs?
The specs are... I have a thing for that. What's funny about the PC is, and chat, I hope you don't think that this, I don't mean this arrogant, it's just like true. When I got my first big PC, it was monumental. It meant so much to me. And now getting this new PC means like nothing to me. Like you're used to it now, you know?
Yeah.
Where is my...
I know that feeling too.
Like I know that can come across as arrogant, but it's just you're used to it now, you know?
I really enjoy when you leave it like a good 2 or 3 years in between upgrades, because then you go for a big upgrade and you actually feel that difference. You can see it boot up faster. You double click on an application, it loads quicker. You play a game, you can feel it smooth. Oh, it's such a satisfying feeling. Yeah,
the thing is like this East German mentality. I don't care when a game loads long. I'm used to it. And now I have this is my specs. I have an SSD, whatever. It's not even here. It loads games very fast. And it's cool. It's cool, but it's like not blowing my mind. You know, like a 3090, I don't feel the 3090, you know, I don't.
How did Cyberpunk run?
Very, very good, very good. It had the bugs in its code, but it looked good. I think in the end, I learned something. If you want to test a new PC, you should get Red Dead Redemption, man. That looked beautiful. That looked much better than Cyberpunk.
The big difference it found for me was getting the SSD. That was like groundbreaking for me.
SSD is the most important. That's true. I just got my mom a laptop with SSD, and that woman had the same laptop for 10 years, who takes 10 minutes to boost, right? And it blew her mind. And yeah, chat, you have to always understand, I did this for tax write-offs, right? I didn't care about a 3090. I just need tax write-offs, you know?
How much has this saved you buying this PC then?
It saves you the full price, I think. So I buy a 5,000 euro PC, and the German law is like that. I can now use these 5,000 in my taxes over 3 years, because the German lawgiver says a PC works for 3 years. That means 5,000 divided by 3, that gets subtracted from all my taxes. Like I literally had to buy this PC in a way. Sounds weird, but I had to do it.
Have you got anything else on the list of things you need to buy?
That's I talk about my tax attorney often about this. I mean, you must have the same problem. When you have a business in life, you need to use money in your business against taxes. That's how the system is built. The problem is nowadays there's a new job called influencer, streamer, YouTuber. And these people, it's not that easy to get tax write-offs. You don't buy machines, you don't get employers, you don't have a car for business. You sit in your room all day with a PC. So what the fuck do you buy for tax write-offs? There's a PC, green screen, lights, shit like that, new camera, but that's it, right?
Yeah.
Like I pay almost full taxes. I don't minimize them because I don't know what to do.
Damn, aren't you been a productive member of society, giving so much back? Does it feel good?
No. I mean, you get arrogant in the way that when you pay a lot of taxes, you walk around life and you're like, "Fuck you guys! I pay my taxes, man. I'm better than you."
Damn.
But it doesn't give you anything, man. You just get fucked. Taxes just fuck you. No one cares if you pay them. The government doesn't come and say thank you. They use it for some bullshit. They bail out some fucking corrupt companies. I think what's interesting to me is that I was watching a lot of YouTube videos about the biggest German YouTubers. Like these guys are millionaires, right? They make millions. And these people all move out of Germany because they are legit saving hundreds and thousands of dollars. Like hundreds of thousands. When you make 3 million a year, do you want to give 50% to the German state or do you want to give 1% to the state of Malta, right? We're talking about $1.5 million here.
Do they have to move abroad, though?
Yes, I have a lot of examples. One of the biggest German YouTubers, he lives in Madeira and saves so much money. He made a video about it, how much he saves, and he saves like 200,000 a month just by moving away. And 200,000 a month pays for your apartment in Malta, man. I mean, I'm not on that level, obviously, but when you make millions, man, moving kind of makes sense, dude, in a way.
You know, it's something that sounds cool on paper when you look how much you save, but is it something that you can really do? Like move away from all your friends, your life, your family?
Sure, that's not so easy, yeah.
Just so you're saving on the bottom line? I don't know, that's a sacrifice I couldn't make.
But we talked about certain characters before, like Spiffing Brit, for example. These characters I'm talking about, in Germany, for example, Unge and Montana Black, for example, who's considering Malta, these people are like the ones you just explained. They don't really have long-term relationships. They don't have long-term girlfriends. These guys are unbound. They're all around the world. For them, it's very easy to go, I think, you know?
I think it takes a special kind of person to do that. But I think if you're able to, I mean, the savings there, I guess it's what you have to like take a look at the big picture and you have to say, what do you value the most? Do you value your family, your relationships, your friendships, or do you value the bottom line, that money?
And the thing is, though, when your tax attorney tells you, if you move to Malta right now, you get 1 million more in your pockets every year. At that point, you gotta be like, okay, family and shit, okay, but 1 million, bro, just by moving,
yeah.
fuck. With that money, you can visit your mom 10 times, you know? If you reach that level, and it's sad. I think it's a bad system. As a state, you want all these people to stay. Greece I just read an article. Greece is now lowering their taxes for self-employed people because they want to invite Europeans all around Europe to live in Greece. So they make their taxes there. You live on the beach and you pay there. It's very clever, right? Very clever. That's how you get people.
In those circumstances, I think those kind of countries can offer that because what they're doing is they're saying, well, you're going to take a step down on your healthcare because we don't have as good healthcare infrastructure. You're going to take a step down on overall infrastructure. Our motorways aren't as good. Cars aren't as good. Maybe there's a little bit of corruption in the police force. Hey, but look at this. You're paying less money at the bottom line. And you're going to like, is that worth the trade-off?
Depends on the number, yeah. And again, if your tax attorney says 1 million clean money in your pockets, I mean, who saying no to that is fucking weird. Oh, and none for Ken.
It worked for Marconi. He moved to Serbia, and look at how rich he is now.
Marconi, how much tax do you pay? How much do you have to give away? Like, I have to give away half now. Half away, man. And there's no one coming saying thank you. And I get that. Oh, Marconi has also 40 to 50%. Crazy, man. But it is what it is. You know what I mean?
How do you feel about life in Germany? Do you feel like Germany is a good place to live?
Obviously, I mean, I can't be... Dude, if any German says, oh, fucking sucks, you're a fucking idiot, man. Germany is one of the richest countries in the world, and we are all blessed to live here. I'm blessed to live here. Easy life, man.
I like to take a jab at the UK government, but I feel the exact same way. I feel like I don't really feel like there wouldn't be a massive step up from living for the UK to somewhere else, and potentially maybe Denmark, maybe Sweden, maybe. But then obviously I'm taking a massive amount of tax increase from living in those countries as well. So it's like you win some, you lose some, you know.
But I personally, and Germans always hate when I say this, I never felt connected to Germany. I was born here, but I wouldn't. The only thing holding me in my area in Germany is family, right? Brother, mother. But if I wouldn't have family, I could live everywhere. I wouldn't give a shit. I never felt really like I always felt like I don't own Germany anything. Or I feel like, let's make it more average, I don't own my country anything. There's so many people out there like Germans. Oh, I'm so proud to be German. Yeah, Germany. Yeah, what did you ever do for Germany, man? And your ancestors don't care about you, man. Like right-wingers in Germany, they're so proud of being German, right? Oh, my grandpa was in the war. Yeah, well, you're some unemployed fuck, man. Your grandpa will spit on you. I don't. I just want to make the point. I'm not patriotic. Maybe that's a German thing, but yeah, I don't know. So far, the government only fucked me. They never like sent me flowers or shit.
This is going to wind up a bunch of people in the chat, but there's a saying that goes, if you've got nothing to be proud of, you be proud of your country. And I feel like there's a lot of people in the UK that say they're proud British, and they don't really have a lot going on. But for me and you, we have our business. We've raised that from a little child into something big, and we feel proud of it. So with that, we feel that detachment from that patriotism, And I feel the exact same way too, because I felt like when in my younger years, I used to be a bit of a flag waver. Now I've slightly distanced myself from that old person.
Very true. It's like this phenomenon, like football clubs. I always had this theory, and I think it's true, that if you don't have much going on and you're a bit sad, depressed, and you don't have much going on, you want to feel connected to something, a group of people. That's why you become a hooligan. That's why you become a patriot, whatever. It's always like, I always felt like every decision a human makes has sense somewhere in psychology. I always felt like people that are very happy, they don't join ISIS. They're not right wingers. They're not left wingers. They're not crazy. People that are happy with themselves, they just fucking hang out.
Yeah, definitely true.
I read this out. I was reading this magazine, like an academic magazine, and I know I can talk about it. There was this article that was really interesting, that slowly the world is becoming more open-minded and anti-authoritarian, meaning the more old people die right now and the more young people come in, the more authoritarians and conservatives are going away, because young people are open-minded, they're growing up globalized, they talk like, look at us, man, we're international people talking to each other. And the more and more you see that uprising against Putin, Lukashenko, all that stuff, I think that's really interesting how in the future that's gonna go. The young people will taking over, I mean, they're young, they have time on their side. It's gonna be very interesting.
It's hard not to, is it really? Because I mean, right now I'm speaking to a German guy in Germany, and you're speaking to a British guy in the UK. It's hard to like see ourselves as alien and different and be xenophobic when you're having that direct communication right now online.
Exactly. It's a beautiful thing. Like, our grandparents, they didn't know each other. When my grandpa went to war with an English guy, he didn't know the guy, right? But nowadays, imagine, like, this is gonna sound weird, but imagine right now the government says we're going to war, Germany versus Britain. I'd be like, dude, I have British viewers. I know Dave. I couldn't fucking shoot at these people. 100 years, that was very different, man. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Like it's much harder now for government to make an enemy picture for the young people because we're so connected. And I think that's great. That's beautiful. I will never shoot you, Dave.
Positivity. Damn, so
I think
optimistic.
that's nice, man. I mean, in the end, war is some politicians sending young men to die,
Last 10 minutes. Does the chat want to ask questions? Unless you've got a topic you want to talk about, Tommy?
In a perfect scenario, where do you see yourself in 5 years? How does everything look like?
I think I'm still doing what I'm doing. I think I expand upon what I'm doing. Maybe I find more opportunities to make money elsewhere. I've been dipping my toes in crypto more recently and playing around with it, maybe understanding it more, maybe potentially making money in future with it, using it as a possible investment, and then potentially maybe doing more video editing stuff. I know this year, as I said to you earlier, I'm going to try and put my fingers in more creative projects, stuff that don't necessarily make me money. I've got my second channel, Feedback Dumping, if you want to check it out. I've been making like little video editing tutorials and stuff. Feedback Dumping. It literally, it is what it is. It's a dumping ground. It's a dump. It's a tip. It literally, whenever I make content that I don't think is good enough for the main channel, it gets slapped on dumping. I don't know. I've got these list of ideas of things I want to do. They're just all like kind of like video editing, tutorials, graphic design, stuff that I think I'm pretty proficient at, and I'll just make videos and put them in there. And that just really, it just titivates my creativity, and I feel like that's something I'm missing at the minute. I'm making too many videos just for the money, and it's just, I'm losing a bit of an edge. But no, the truth is, in 5 years, making more money with other stuff. Put it that way.
Okay. And do you see yourself as a dad?
No.
Oh, that's so sad.
We talked about this on the first one, didn't we?
You don't have to open it. Do you see yourself married? No.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Hey, would you invite me to your wedding? Hey,
maybe.
Hey, come on.
See,
Hey,
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put it in my head now. So I've never been this big marriage person, okay? But I've never dismissed the idea completely. I think the idea of it, the concept of it, a party of coming together of two people to celebrate someone's kind of being together for a set period of time, I think that's kind of cute. I like that idea. That's a really cool concept. The whole idea of signing document that the government approves upon your marriage, this idea of religion and stuff, I'm not too into that idea, you know? But if you just base it on the party idea, I think I'd want to keep everything on the low key. You know, I like the idea of going abroad and getting married somewhere in maybe Italy, for instance, and it'd be like a very small, concise ceremony, and then I don't know, everything's a little bit more intimate and a little more close. So this idea of like filling the room full of people in the reception, I don't know, that doesn't really appeal to me.
would you know at this moment who your best man will be?
No, I'd have no idea.
Which will bring me to the question. I don't know if this is too. How was your friend circle, Dave?
You know what?
Like,
I'm a bit
I legit am interested.
No, seriously. I have like 3 or 4 friends that are like I don't contact on a very regular basis. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I'm a bit of a loner, to be honest with you. I don't really gain a lot from like these really strong friendships. Yeah. I'm not that kind of person. I like there's some people out there that like need friendships to almost keep their mental strength going to offload stuff, and I don't really feel the need to have those people in my life. So
I fully understand. Yeah.
yeah, I can think of like 3 or 4 people, ex-workmates, people that I've worked with at some point or another, and I talk to them on a regular basis, but no more than once a week, maybe once a month sometimes, you know, but we just kept in contact. I guess that's a friendship, maybe. I don't know, people have different definitions of friendship.
No, I mean that's totally great. When I was younger, I always felt this pressure. Oh, I need friends. I need to go to parties. But now that you're older, you realize no, you don't. If you feel good with this in the current situation, who cares? All of chat agrees. I mean, you guys are watching Twitch, man. I'm kind of your internet friend. That's why you're watching.
Go on then, you same answer to you. Do you see yourself as married? Do you see with kids? Where's your business going in 5 years? Where?
I think I'm gonna become a very normal. My life is gonna be very normal. Kids, married, house. You know, very standard. And I kind of like that. I like that stability.
Yeah. What's stopping you from stopping it doing it now?
Me and Lisa said we want to wait till 2022. She needs to get into her job a bit. I want to, still be a guy that sits in his room all day playing games. Because when there's a kid, man, life changes, man. Life fucking changes. I can't play World of Warcraft anymore, you know?
Forever, ever again.
Lately, I and Lisa too, we're thinking about charity now. Because, and again, I just want to be honest to you, Chad. The money is so good that you start thinking about sharing. You know, when I was poor, I was like, nobody gets money. But now you start thinking about that shit. Do you think about stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. I thought about this like 2 or 3 years ago when I first quit my job and I was like earning a comfortable amount. And I was thinking like, what's kind of like your legacy? You know, like what have you left behind? How have you made an impact on the world? You know, because one day obviously you're going to be dead, so it's not really going to matter. And obviously sitting all this money just seems pointless. So what is the purpose of this money? What are you going to do with it to somehow create a better world? And I think obviously we don't earn not enough money to make it comparable to Elon Musk or I don't know, Bill Gates. But you know, it's every person who's comfortable with life and sitting on a decent amount of money always thinks this because they're always investing in charities on projects to make the world a better place, you know?
Which is a good thing. It shows that humans are, after all, altruistic beings. Good thing, actually. I'm going to sound like an asshole here. I always felt like I don't want to donate to strangers. I always felt like if I donate or do charity, it's for my people. My people. I don't know if that's egoistic. I don't know. But I always felt like my people get stuff first.
Speaking of charity, actually, I think the concept of charity, I'm kind of against it. This is good because we'll disagree with this. So you're paying taxes. For the most part, I know some of them go in places you probably wouldn't agree with. But so those taxes go towards creating policy that can potentially create situations that are better for people. For instance, with actual taxation, you can invest enough money into something to actually eradicate homelessness. You can actually make big changes. But the truth is with charity, you're kind of flicking, you know, like a euro, a pound, a dollar at a homeless person. You're not really kind of fixing the problem, you know. And I think there's a part of charity that makes me think sometimes like, are you really fixing a problem? Or are you just continuing the cycle by just perpetually keeping them around, you know?
Depends on the case, I guess. Like in that example, yeah. I mean, if you build a school in Africa, that probably works. I also, here comes the German boomer. A lot of charity is a scam. A lot of charity, rich people do charity to save taxes. And a lot of charity is a scam. We have a great example right now in Germany, big thing in Germany. Germany is building a gas pipeline, number 2, with Russia. And right now, this project is on hold because of human rights and shit. German minister of that state, Schleswig-Holstein, just formed a charity company which received $200,000 by Gazprom, the guys who are making the pipeline, to then reinvest it into the pipeline. A lot of charities very scammy, and a lot of charities just rich people trying to save taxes. When you guys out there wonder why a piece of art in a museum that's just a blue canvas is $1 million, it's because rich people pay the $1 million to save the taxes. It's very important.
I feel like you can dig deep enough sometimes and find these scenarios where I don't know a lot. I can only talk about the UK. I can't talk about Germany, but in the UK, there's a lot of instances after an election happens, and there's a lot of like money that gets siphoned off in different directions, and obviously they're paying back favors for helping us win the election, you know. And it does leave you this feeling of like, oh my god, that's unbelievably scummy. This is our tax money. How is it going towards just people that are giving people golden handshakes? It just feels really scummy. And then I suppose that the problem is bad news travels a lot further than good news, because you don't really hear about the policy that potentially could have fixed, I don't know, some water problem, for instance.
And now that I got older, I think that's just how the system works. When I was younger and I had ideals, I was like, man, I should make a party. I will change the world. But as you get older and realize what life is and read some stuff and watch movies about it, you realize that all these people out there that want to make a difference, along the way on the top, like in politics, they realize they have to shake certain hands. If you don't shake certain hands in politics and business to make it up, you're not going to go anywhere. You need favors and stuff like that.
That was definitely the last election in the UK. Like one political party who was willing to work with everyone, the media, the big corporations, the businesses, the working class people, and one party was willing to. But obviously, the conclusion with the election results mirrored that. You know, democracy. I said this in a Discord once before, and everyone disagreed with me. But I said that democracy is all about compromise. At the end of the day, to be able to work a democracy, you've got to be able to work with as many people as possible, get the majority to work with you to eventually get those votes. And if you're not going to, then it's not going to happen.
You're going to kill me. Dave, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm Feedback Gaming. You can follow me on YouTube. Also my second channel, which you'll see all my creative influences and whatnot. And if you want to get this podcast for the link, it's the Spotify podcast. I tried to put it on Apple iTunes, but for some reason it would never update. We only had one episode, which is stupid, but there you go. I'll do this one. It'll probably be uploaded sometime tomorrow. And who are you, Tommy?
I'm Tommy K. You know who I am.
Really? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have a Twitch channel? What's it called?
They know.
Anyway. All right, guys. See you later, everyone.
Thank you very much, man.
Bye, bye.
I love you. And stay healthy.
I will too. Bye, bye, chat.
I hope I can come to your wedding. Bye.
Maybe.